Yeah, buddy. Sir Hunter's back. He's back in action in this sequel, coming to you live from YouTube. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Sir Hunt's Reviews. My name's Mark, and in this live stream, we're going to be discussing House Stark for Game of Thrones Season 8. We're also going to be discussing some leaks. But the leaks won't come till much later. And I'll, of course, put up a spoiler warning before we discuss said things. I'm just going to give everyone a few minutes, maybe like 4 minutes tops to get here. Got some wonderful news to discuss. And yes, this will be a face cam live stream. As soon as I switch the scene. Oh, buddy. We got some people in there. Long nights. Shout out to Nancy Toxstein. You are the greatest. I got a big once I start the live stream, like switch the scene basically. I got something planned. How's everybody doing? What are y'all doing on this Saturday in August, ending out summer? I realized when I was younger, like a teenager, I used to get really upset with summer ending, but not so much. It's been so fucking hot for the past 3 months. I'm honestly a little bit ready for fucking winter. The long nights. We got one more winter to get through, and then Game of Thrones will be back. Can't fucking wait. Oh yeah, by the way, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. I had watched people watching it before. I think it came out like maybe a week or two ago. It's called Disenchantment. It's on Netflix. You should 100% watch that show. It's pretty good. The first maybe 4 or 5 episodes, and it's a cartoon. The first maybe 4 or 5 episodes, they're decent. It seems a little bit repetitive, but after that, the story really starts to take shape. Because up until like episode 4, it's kind of like they're just telling a story. Each episode is a little bit related to the one before, but then episode 5 and then the last 5 episodes of the season, they really tie everything together. You got all of these people that you met early on coming back, and I don't know, it's like Futurama but set in Fantasyland, which makes sense because it is Matt Groening, and we do know that he created The Simpsons and Futurama, so it makes sense that it's like that. It's got a lot of potential, we'll say that. And actually, the season finale, like the cliffhanger, no spoilers, but the cliffhanger that they leave you on, I was genuinely like, oh, that's it? And I rarely get like that with American cartoon shows. But that was a good one. Sansa Stark, how you doing, lady? Terry Melendez, I'm about to do an official shout out real quick, but Sansa Stark, shout out to Cece and to James. They just joined over on Patreon, and that, my lady, earns you a wrench status. Use it wisely. Do not ban anyone who does not deserve such deeds. All right, so yeah, let's do an early preliminary shout out. Shout out to, I think I'm gonna say this wrong. Sharon, I think. Bobby Jonas, Cherry Osaka, CC Stark, Cindy Sammy, DJ, Danny Jeter, Danny McKay, Deborah Breedlove, Doc Robinson, Nancy T, OTDA, Sir Hunts, that's me, Star Killer, Terry Melendez, the Bio Explorer, Token Joe, Tony D Prophecy, Travis Michael, and Zhang Chung Lija. I know I butchered that, but welcome, my friends. We'll be discussing here in a little bit. I want to show you guys my nice chair. I've been reclining 180 degrees in it. It's very comfortable. Obviously, I've had lots of coffee this morning. I'm ready. Let me go grab a Mountain Dew, as a matter of fact. Hang on 1 second. This only for your eyes while your man's in this room. Now blood on your hands. You think I'm gonna let him leave alive, you fool. That chopper will blow a third of the nerves out your head. Oh man. I wish I could just sit here and rap for you guys for like the next 10 minutes. How many dislikes will we get? Speaking of which, the like goal for this live stream, I'm gonna aim high here. I'm gonna shoot for 27 likes for this video. That will be the like goal. I did a test in my last video. What I did was I said I did my normal can you please slap a like on this before we get started spiel, but instead of actually saying the like goal, I set it till the end, and that video now has half the amount of likes as the other one. So I gotta start saying the like goals in the beginning of the video. It's kind of I didn't think it would work like that, but it does. I think early on some people forget to like when they start watching the video. I don't know. It just really helps out my channel, and it's free. It's literally just a click or a press or a tap, whatever device you're using. Delicious Mountain Dew. All right, you know, we got 45 people watching. Let's go ahead and start this motherfucker. What is up? Oh, yeah. My name is Mark, and welcome to Sir Hunt's Reviews. And get prepared. Let me move this mic back just a little bit because I don't know how loud it is. I didn't check my audio levels. What I did check, though, was the stream. So you should be watching me in 1080p at 60 FPS. If your screen can handle that, you're already at 10. A level 10 like the volume. Let me slide back a bit. Wait, actually I can adjust the audio right here. Turn it down a little bit. Yeah, turn it down. As long as I stay in yellow, I think we're good. If you guys didn't know, I have a naturally loud voice. It carries, which I think that helped me out in the beginning because I had a really shitty microphone, and I just, you know, project. Okay, but yeah, getting official here. You guys can't see it yet. You can see part of it over my shoulder. But I have an Amazon wish list. It's linked down below in the description. And Nancy, she's in the chat right now. Nancy T actually got me the very first item off that list. And this is the GT Racing chair. Hang on, let me do the thing first. 180-degree recline. Here we go. Y'all can't even see me. Y'all probably thought I was gone. But no, I would say I was just taking a little nap. All right, here it goes. Oh, yeah. Check this out. Nice padded leather. Custom patent leather is what I meant to say there. You know, we got the red accented trim for the fire and the motherfucking blood. Oh yeah. Big shout out to Nancy. Thank you for that. I definitely took a nap in it last night. I was like up till like 1:30 watching Joe Rogan's podcast because he took like 2 weeks off. You know, was listening to him and Neil deGrasse Tyson debate all types of shit. Mainly Joe was listening. You know, Neil deGrasse Tyson is one of the only people that can get Joe Rogan to shut up. But yeah, it was fucking awesome. So I ended up taking a nap in this chair last night. It was amazing. Once again, that Amazon wish list is linked down below in the description. That is for higher production value for this channel. We will be discussing the Starks. I'm going to go through each one individually. Then we'll do a quick Q&A, and then we'll end out this live stream, which is only going to be about an hour. So for the next 50 minutes or so, I'm gonna be taking up your time. Give Daddy all of your time. But yeah, and then at the very end, we'll discuss some spoilers for House Stark. Some spoilers. You guys can see my fucking face now, so I'll do it. Spoilers. You know, the leaks. But yeah, real quick. Who is in the chat right now? Let's see. All right, participants in the chat. I did this before we started, but we got some new people in here. 64 Spades, Ashayeth Sharon. By the way, shout out to all these people. 64 Spades, Ashayeth Sharon, Cherry Osaka, CC Stark, Cindy Sammy, Danny Jeter, Deborah Breedlove, Donnie Locklear, James Gagnon, Nancy T, OTDA, Paul Rose, Sam Doles, the author, Sir Hunts. Why do I keep doing that? That's me. Cherie M, the Bio Explorer, and Token Joe. How are y'all doing? Is it buffering for anyone? Is it buffering for anyone right now? Like, is there any kind of audio issues? Is the screen frozen on my face and my voice choppy? Any of that crazy shit happening right now before I get started on my spiel? Anything going on? You guys type in the chat. Let me know what's up with that. Hey, Mark, warn me before the spoilers. Hell yeah, dude. I might not. That's the thing. It's gonna be towards the end of the video, and I might forget at that point to cover them. But yes, I'll put up one of these before we do it. Hang on. Spoiler warning. Hang on, give me 1 second. I meant to already have this loaded, but I'll put up one of these before we actually talk about anything spoilery. But yeah, just as an example. But yeah. All right, so I got a quick question for the chat right now. I like talking about Game of Thrones, but you were awesome. You cracked me up. Thank you, Donnie Locklear. Hell yeah, everyone, slap a like on this, por favor. I need it. I need your likes. I need the attention. I'm like depressed, and if I don't get, no, I'm just kidding. But no, I mean everybody is a little bit depressed, I guess. You forgot me. Dustin Shaw, shout out. Well, I usually when you type in the chat, your name will show up, and if you haven't typed in a while, it disappears. So I called everyone who was in the participants list. Sorry about that. Who disliked LOL haters? Shit, that's like fucking hand in hand with YouTube. So there's like at least 15 to 20 people that are probably subscribed to me that dislike my video as soon as it's fucking uploaded. I remember the most recent spoiler video I put up on Monday. It literally had 20 fucking dislikes before it even had like 100 views. So that's obviously a troll. Who cares? You know what I mean? That's one thing with YouTube, and I think that's why YouTube is so successful, is it gives you the option of downvoting something if you don't like it. Other video platforms don't necessarily do that. Or like with Pornhub, for example, you can click dislike as many times as you want. Just keep refreshing the page. There are certain porn videos that deserve dislikes because they're like, the title will be extremely misleading, or it'll be not what the fuck was advertised. So, I don't know. But yeah, whatever. Dislike those Pornhub videos. Fuck that. Fuck, Jesus. Whatever. It's true, you are the funniest. Thank you! Don't feed my ego. You don't want to feed my ego. Although, super sidetracked here. I was watching one, because, when Rogan goes off for a week, I go back and watch the backlog of podcasts. And I don't agree with everything he says. As a matter of fact, I disagree with like 50% of the shit that he says. But he's still entertaining, and his guests always have something, interesting to say. Even if they're fucking racist idiots, it doesn't matter. It's entertainment to me. Like, obviously racism matters, but whatever. Bad porn should be banned. Thank you. Yes, it shouldn't even pop up in your feed. Like, let's just say, for example, I'm not saying I look for this porn category, but let's just say I'm typing in big butt sluts. I mean, I don't know. It's just a porn title. It's not what I'd necessarily look for, but let's just say you're typing that in. The first video is a girl with no ass. Like, what? Come on. How you gonna... It's just misleading. They really need to get some shit on that. People will talk about my videos being clickbait. At least I talk about Game of Thrones and my thumbnails Game of Thrones related. Those fucking Pornhub videos, sometimes the thumbnail literally doesn't even show up in the video. Like, but yeah. It's because you're black. What do you mean? You want to leave already, kitty? We've only been streaming for what, 3 minutes? 14 minutes. Oh shit, I need to get on the Game of Thrones. Wait, say hi first before you leave. By the way, also, before we get started, super big shout out to Terry Melendez, to Nancy Toxdean, and to Lynn Shaw. You guys are the biggest supporters of this channel. And Lynn, I know you haven't seen Kitty in a while, so here you go. He's so fat, he wants to get down. Say hi, Kitty boy. Okay, all right, bye. Let me let this dude out. Bye. He always runs so fast. I think he gets used to whenever I let him out of the office, it's usually to go feed him. So he's like, oh, wee, wet food. Little does he know I'll close the door right behind his desk. I love the hair, Mark. I'm hoping for a rant on hair product. This is what I use. I'll show you. Right here. It's like $12 at Walmart. Miss Jessie's Multicultural Curls. All right, on to Game of Thrones. Let's do this. So the first member of House Stark we are going to discuss is obviously Jon freaking Snow. Now, I'm not going to talk about the spoilers for Jon Snow, so I'm going to have to tread lightly here. And they're not real necessarily. That's the thing. There's been like 10 legit leaks. Like that's filming, set. There's been no script leaks. There's been a few plot leaks that are very questionable in the sense that the timeline they came out with, most of the filming production schedule had already wrapped up. So they went back, looked at that, and then tried to tie a bunch of shit together. So there is a few of those. Speaking of which, episode 4, 5, and 6 of the only copy of the plot leak that I have, I'm the only person with it. Those will be coming out by the end of this month. So get fucking ready for that. Oh shit, we got a super chat from Big Kev 619SD. He's probably within my first 10 subscribers. The North remembers. Yes, it does, good sir. Thank you for that super chat. That's awesome. Appreciate that, man. Good morning, afternoon. Good morning to you, Rakamas. All right, look, I'll just read the chat for a little bit. Mark, don't worry about any negative remarks. You were absolutely awesome. I didn't even see any. Did someone say some shit? Could you get to Game of Thrones? That's what we all came for. Oh yeah, nah, for real, dude. Yeah, I will. I'm just excited. I haven't done a live stream in a while. The last live stream I did was on a phone in my car for like 8 minutes on my way to Virginia Beach last weekend, and it lagged out. So yeah, I never got a chance to do that. And then before that, hadn't done one since I did a collab with other YouTubers. I think last live stream I did was with like with a collab with someone, was with Ideas of Ice and Fire, Quinn from Ideas of Ice and Fire. What was I about to? I felt like I was about to go on a tangent. Okay, we're talking about Jon first. Okay, so yeah, if I do mention anything spoiler, I'll drop this up. Oh wait, I was trying to be cool and I didn't even have it saved. I'll throw this up before we actually talk about any. Oh shit, why is it reversed? What the fuck? How did that even happen, dude? What? That's tripping me out. Okay, whatever. I don't know if you guys saw it reversed, but I did, so it looks weird. Alright, so this chat is from Dany Jeter, another big supporter of this channel. This question, rather, says Q&A, Jon get to bond with a dragon? Will Jon get to ride a dragon? Now, you know what? I didn't think I'd have to use this so soon, but I'll quickly answer this and quickly mention the spoilers. Okay, so spoiler warning. Go ahead and click out of the video right now. Come back in 30 seconds, literally 30 seconds. Or skip ahead 30 seconds if you're watching this afterwards. And there we go. Okay, so there was, and this isn't even really a spoiler. This was filming during production, obviously during the part of the filming season where they're setting up a lot of the scenes to be filmed. There was Daenerys' dragon mount, what she usually rides on when she's riding Drogon, and it's basically this giant sort of mechanical device with a saddle on it, and it's covered in green screen so they can easily remove it in post-production. That was spotted in a certain location where Emilia Clarke was not spotted. So the only people that were around when that dragon mount, the CG, and I didn't mean to do air quotations, but when that CG dragon mount was around, the only person who was near it that should be filming was Kit Harington. So we don't know if it's a dragon mount for Rhaegal, if it's for Drogon. I think it's 100% certain that we are going to say Jon Snow is not going to mount Drogon by himself. Of course, with Daenerys, you know, for sure. But I don't think he would just go straight out and ride Drogon without Daenerys either already being on it or if she dies. And that's another thing too, is like it could be at the point in the season it was later. It could be where maybe Daenerys has passed away and Jon is out of desperation trying to go and get on Drogon. But either way, the spoilers are done. If you want me to discuss more of that, remind me when we discuss straight spoilers at the end of this video. The plot leak in episode 4 that I've been doing, the last one I did I think was episode 3. The plot leak for episode 4 gets fucking nuts. It's like the full ramped up battle. I was reading it last night, it was giving me chills. I've actually recorded most of that video already. Probably got another few hours in the post-production, but I've already recorded most out of that. Jon Snow gets blown up by wildfire along with every other character in King's Landing. What? That would be a insane ending. I mean, see, here's the thing. Jon's already died and come back once. So if Jon dies again, in my mind and in my opinion, storytelling-wise, he should stay dead. There should be no reason why this man can die and come back. He's not Jesus Christ. So there's no reason for him to actually be animated again. Or you could look at it as they're not going to kill him because they literally just killed him at the end of season 5. So it's like giant circulatory storytelling. And one of the things I think that a lot of the fans, one of the harshest critics, or one of the harshest, not critics, but just everyone critiques, that's what I was looking for, from season 7 was the sort of like one for me, and this is the one that I most agree with, was that there's really no consequences for your actions. Whereas like in earlier seasons, if you did something, there was almost an immediate repercussion for that, or it came back to bite you in the ass when you were least expecting it. That does not exist. At least we haven't seen that in season 7. We did a little bit in season 6, and I guess you could say that there was a little bit of consequences for your actions with Littlefinger. You remember he ended up getting his throat slit. Supposedly, he could have had a faceless man take his place, but that was a consequence for his actions all of these 7 seasons. So there is that, but the other biggest thing was that bringing Jon Snow back was like just a cheapskate. It's sort of like what everyone what everyone's biggest drawback with Avengers Infinity War, which I don't really see it, because I feel like as of right now they're still dead, even though we know they're filming Spider-Man Far From Home. We know Black Panther, being one of the biggest Marvel movies of all time, he's going to get a sequel. I'm sure that's going to start filming early next year. So it's like a cop out, because we know they're just going to reverse time and bring everyone back, but it's almost like if it's done the right way, it's like, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? If you really care that hard, then you're just being, over critiquing. I personally think that if Jon Snow was killed and then brought back again, that would be very circular. I would be mad if he died, but I would totally be okay if Daenerys survived. If both Jon Snow and Daenerys die in the end, I probably would be pretty upset. God damn, what the fuck is in my eye? Excuse me one second. Let me go rinse out my eyes. Who gets this reference? Who can get this reference, rather? Squiggly line in my eye. Why are you there? I think it's something like that. Family Guy. Oh, damn it. I didn't mean to say that. Stewie from Family Guy. I don't know. Anyone else got that before I said the answer? So, yeah. As far as Jon Snow's character arc next season, I mean, just going based off of season 7, we know he's headed back to the north. I think one of the things that's going to be super exciting to see, which is like in this thumbnail, is the giant Stark reunion. We're going to have Jon being in the same room with Arya, with Bran. Like, he met back with Sansa in season 6, so that's not as big as a reunion, but it kind of is, because Sansa's made some changes to Winterfell in the sense that she's killed Littlefinger. She's brought all the supplies, or she's supposedly bringing all the supplies to Winterfell. She's matured some, and it's almost like she's gotten used to this role of being the Lady of Winterfell, everyone coming to her first before they go and do everything. So the dynamic of Jon Snow coming back, and then coming back with this foreign woman who he's, laid to bed with. I don't know how Sansa's going to feel about having a foreign woman sit the throne at Winterfell, because technically Jon Snow is king of the North. So if you look at it as Daenerys being queen, she's now queen in the North, and this is something that I think Sansa's looked forward to wanting to become her entire life. So I do think there's going to be an interesting arc in which Jon is, I guess, combating with Sansa and Daenerys. I think Sansa will outright be like critical of Daenerys, not necessarily disrespectful, but she's going to be the one most openly outspoken, because she has to be. She is the queen in the North, and she's looking out for the northern interests. When she finds out that and here's the thing, it depends on how the situation goes down, because if it's on a situation where it's like Jon and Daenerys come to save the fucking day because the Night King is ransacking Winterfell, then obviously those circumstances are going to be different. But if it's like a more of a casual thing, whereas in Jon and Daenerys and all of the rest of their group arrives at Winterfell before the Night King attacks, or before really the events of season 8 start to roll out, there might be a time for this. But if there isn't, and it's like they show up to save the day, well, if Sansa's critical of her, then she's just being a bitch. But if we do have that time for a little arc, maybe like in the first episode or something, I think Sansa will be one of the ones who will be the most openly critical of Daenerys, and I think it will be interesting to see how Jon handles that, because Sansa is his family, that's his blood, that's, everything to him, that's his world. That's the whole reason why he went down south, was to help save his family. You know what I mean? That's the one thing that's driving Jon, because you remember when he died and he said that he saw nothing. What the fuck do you have to fight for? Like, you come back and you're like, I'm just gonna leave, my watch has ended. And then your family shows up. So literally, his family is the only thing that he's fighting for. I would have liked to see what Jon would have done if Sansa hadn't shown up when she did, and if he just left Castle Black. That would have been amazing. I know when we first saw him leaving after My Watch has ended, there was a bunch of theories that popped up. Like, oh, Jon Snow's gone. Fuck the Night's Watch. Like, what is he gonna go do? He's gonna go get some more wildling ass? I don't know. But yeah, no, and it didn't end up turning like that. So Jon's main motivation is his family, but now he's in love with Daenerys. Like, Jon's the type of dude that when you have sex with a woman, you fall in love with her. I can relate to that. So that's pretty much where we're at, with Jon and Daenerys. He's definitely in love with her, and it's going to be interesting, I think, to see in season 8. Probably one of the most interesting storylines, aside from the massive battles that are going to be going on, is that relationship. And then also, another exciting thing about this potential Stark reunion would obviously be seeing Jon and Arya reunited. I think, really, if you want to be technical, Arya played that role of being super House Stark, super House Stark protector, like our pride. Remember, she tried to call Sansa out on that letter that she had written from King's Landing, like basically being forced to do so by Cersei. She was the one who was all about House Stark. So I think, you could even argue that maybe instead of Sansa being the one that's the most openly critical against Daenerys, you could probably even argue that Arya may be. If it's keeping in line with the theme of where she is when that's being like House Stark adjudicator. I guess, did I use that word right? Just someone who sticks up for House Stark heavily. That role may actually be passed on to Arya. I don't want to discuss that too much because we're going to discuss Arya in a bit, but I am curious to see the dynamics between Jon and Arya. I would love for them to have a bunch of like story time sessions where basically she tells him, at least lead us to the fact that happened so that we know they've caught up with each other. What would be interesting to me is I definitely think that Jon Snow is going to tell Daenerys that he died and was brought back for sure. That might be one of the stories she tells him on their journey to Winterfell next season. But I think Arya would be one of the only people, because she's a faceless man. I think Arya would be probably the one that Jon feels the most safe with telling his secret to, other than Bran, because Bran already knows, you know what I mean? Bran may have even had a hand in unconsciously bringing back Jon Snow. We don't really know full out what went on there, but I would not be surprised if Jon were to tell Arya what happened. Like, I would love to see that. I think the dynamic of them being the two Starks that have arguably and debatably gone through the most shit, I think having them come back together and having a bit of like a reconnection, story time would be awesome. And that's just my hopes for this season. I doubt it will actually happen. Shout out to Pete Easy. What you doing, bro? How's Atlanta? You super hot down there, man? I know it's like yesterday, I think it was like 93, but the heat index was like 100. 3 digits. What's up, dude? How you doing, man? How's it going? What? Seeing if I missed negative. I did not miss any super chats. All right, so yeah, I guess the last thing that I want to talk about with Jon, and then we'll go on to talking about Bran, because I feel like he's the second most exciting Stark, aside from Arya, obviously, but we kind of know what her role is going to be. Bran's role is still a bit of a mystery. So yeah, I am looking forward to discussing that. But the thing with Jon is that I initially, from like my first time viewing the show, as soon as I saw how much time they spent with him and on his journey going north of the Wall and on his adventures north of the Wall and just being at Castle Black, I already knew he was going to be a main character. You can tell the way that the writers and the way that George R. R. Martin wrote for him in his novels, that he's definitely one of their favorite characters. Jon Snow, I think, I read this article about who has the most screen time. It was like paralleled with this article of who has the most POV chapters in the books, but I think Jon, Daenerys, and Tyrion all have the most screen time, and then followed by that is Arya. Now, don't quote me directly here, because like I said, I think that's how it was, but it makes sense as to why everyone loves Jon so much. What I would love to see, and we thought we were going to get this when he came back from the dead, but he's really the exact same fucking person, just minus Ollie. By the way, hashtag fuck Ollie. That's weird. I feel like I had a hair in my mouth, but he hasn't changed at all. So I would love to see him become, and what I was getting at here, next season is see him become less of a fan favorite, right? So, you know, I, for the most part, don't have a problem with Arya at all. I love her storyline. She's one of my favorite characters, but her storyline in season 7 with, you know, being a straight bitch to Sansa before we really figured out what was going on, I hated that, and it made me like her character a little bit less. I remember, I think it was after episode 4, I was like, dude, Arya, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I wanted to just be like, hey, stop. What are you, that's your sister. Stop being a bitch. Obviously, you know Cersei's manipulative. That's why she wrote the fucking letter. Like, calm down. But I still overall love her. So with Jon, he's never really had moments where people are like, man, fuck this dude. You know what I mean? He's every single scene he's in, you're like, fuck yeah, Jon Snow, long nights. Let's do it. House Stark, winter's coming. Like, the whole time. I would love to see in season 8, maybe they stray away from that. I would love to see the writers put him in a position in which the audience doesn't immediately go, Jon, you're the man. Like, I would love to see him in a scene where we're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Sort of like what we had with Arya last season. So I guess that's kind of wrapping Jon Snow up. Real quick, before we go on to Bran, do you guys have any questions about Jon Snow, or do you have any things that you think Jon Snow is going to lay witness to? No spoilers for that part. We're going to talk Jon spoilers towards the end of this. But do you guys... Oh, speaking of which, we've been streaming for 30 minutes now, and I've only covered Jon. That's because the first 15 minutes of this video is a giant, like, hello, I don't get to talk to people very often. Thank you guys for coming and watching. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I think going back and rewatching that, I'm going to laugh. I always go back and rewatch the first 10 to 20 minutes of my stream just to see how much I fucked up before I got warmed up. But yeah, is there anything that you guys want to mention about Jon before we move on to Bran? We're 31 minutes into the video, and I think we're going to go for another 30 minutes. Just scanning the chat real quick. BioExplorer says, seriously, Sansa isn't my fave, but she's been through worse. Rape and all that? Well, for the TV show, yes. Because technically in the books, Sansa's tucked away in the Vale right now very safely, I might add. Okay, not very safely. This is Westeros, but that's all happening to her friend Jean Poole. So it's not... I mean, she's been through some shit. Book 1, she's like nothing but... and I guess book 2 as well. She's nothing but tortured by Joffrey. He's like he's literally probably one of the most sadistic characters I ever remember reading about and watching on a TV show, which is why he's hated so much. I think that's why the actor who played him doesn't have any form of social media, because he would just constantly get trolled. I think he has an Instagram account that he keeps private. His name's Jack something. I can't remember what the fuck his last name is, but he's an amazing actor, which is obviously why we hate Joffrey so much. But yeah, no, she's been through some shit. I mean, I don't really want to go down the Sansa rabbit hole. I was going to save her for like the very, very end, because a lot of people, when they hear me talking about her, they're like, oh, you fucking hate Sansa. You're a bandwagon Sansa hater. No, that's not it. It's just, I like dragons. I like action. I like suits of armor. I like fights. Sansa has nothing to do with any of those motherfucking things. So it's like, you know, Sophie Turner is extremely attractive. Obviously, she's a good actress. Fuck yeah. She kills it playing Sansa. Hell yeah, she's amazing. But I think, you know, like with anything, when you like something or when you love something, you're biased towards it, you know? So that's why I'm like, Arya's been through the war. I mean, I feel like, okay, we'll do it. Let's do it. It's a Stark video. Fuck it. With Sansa, right? So Sansa was handed so many fucking times to take a hold of her destiny and to flip things around and make it better for herself. It took her so fucking long. It took her 5 seasons. And we're talking about the TV show here. Obviously, my channel is TV expertise. It took her so fucking long to grab her destiny and put it in her own hands and then start driving the wheel. Arya, since episode 1, has been rebelling against everything that she's been forced to do. She has been forging her own destiny, she's been making her own path, and she's also suffered greatly because of that. Sansa has suffered an insane amount as well. The difference is that it took her 5 fucking seasons before she's like, you know what, look, I'm sick of this. And you could argue that, yeah, what was she gonna do? She's by herself, trapped inside King's Landing. I mean, I don't know. Don't let Littlefinger manipulate for as many fucking seasons as he did. Something. Arya is literally grabbing the bull by the horns and throwing that bitch in a headlock because that's how badass she is. So, and then on top of that, when she finally, after fighting for so fucking long, when she finally gets to the place where she thinks she's gonna be able to lay her head down and rest and just not necessarily rest and chill out, but when she finally reaches her goal, which was making it to the House of Black and White and starting on her path to becoming a faceless man, she's fucking tortured and beat and blinded. Well, the blinding was obviously her own fault for misfollowing orders, but then she's also tortured. She's a fucking beggar. She gets the shit beaten out of her every fucking day by the wave. So I don't know, man. I saw Sansa get hit a few times, but I think for the most part, her suffering has been emotional. Arya's not only been emotional, but also physical. So I feel a little bit more for her. And the fact that she took her destiny by the horns from day fucking one makes me respect her a little bit more. Not that I don't respect Sansa. See, that's why it's like a slippery hole. You just start going deeper and deeper. But yeah, and I'll save more of that for when we actually talk about Sansa. But we're supposed to be talking about the goddamn Bran, Professor X himself, Stark. The writing for Dany is shit. Completely disagree with you, sir. Completely disagree with you. In season 7, I will give it to you that she feels a little bit entitled. Well, I'm the queen and it's my birthright. Sure. But she's fucking amazing. She's very well written. You can tell that she's one of the writer's favorite characters. We're not talking about Daenerys, though. Why are you guys trying to trigger me? Why? Hey, be nice. I saw Roleplayer 1988 said, nah, your mother stinks, Ben. Because Ben said Dany stinks. But no, it's cool. It's cool. I'll reel in my Emilia Clarke, I'll reel it in. We're talking about the Starks. Bran is the Night King. No, the fuck he's not. Bran is not the motherfucking Night King. I mean, all right, look. We'll start off with that. We'll entertain that theory for a little bit. Forrest Blurta says, I'm about to go for a short hike. Have fun, guys. Why are you going for a hike in the middle of this? Throw some headphones on and take me with you, girl. I want to go see the wilderness of Albania. I mean, maybe we can catch a boat and go over to Egypt. And I believe I feel like a jackass because I know you told me where you're from. And I know it's Albania. I feel in my heart it's Albania, but I can't remember right now. And this is live. Is it? It's Albania, right? Quickly type in the chat. Then we'll start talking about Bran and how he's not the Night King, but how there's a possibility that he could have done something. Do it. It's Albania, right? Oh, she's just gonna leave us hanging like that. All right, cool. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so okay. Bran Stark disappeared for an entire season. We were told that when he would come back in season 6, like this is when I started my channel. Before season 6, like I think I started my channel like 6 months before season 6 aired. Maybe not 6 months, maybe like 4 months. Kosovo next to Albania. But where did I get Albania though? Why would I think that? I don't know. Okay, so you shared the Draken, it's like on your flag, and that's what I thought, the Albanian flag. Dude, I gotta look this up. This is gonna blow my mind. It's gonna bother me. All right, I know you said it's next to Kosovo. Yeah, because you shared the Albanian flag, which is a double-headed dragon, or I guess it's more like an eagle. Okay, so what does the Kosovo flag look like? Oh wait, okay, so it's like literally similar to that. Different colors. It's got the actual shape of the country, 6 stars, and then the 2-headed eagle, I guess. I think that is supposed to be an eagle. But I see something with wings, and I immediately go, dragon. It's a dragon. Everything is dragons, baby. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same ethnicity. You're all Albanians. Okay, so I wasn't wrong. I was right. I just got your actual country of origin wrong. Okay. All right. So yes, the idea of Bran, right? So when we were told that he was coming back in season 6, I mean, we hadn't seen him since like the very end of season 4. When he comes back in season 6, we're told that he's Luke Skywalker. Once after. Fucking A, dude, this is going to kill me. After A New Hope, in between A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back, he's that Luke Skywalker, right? So he goes away, he trains with Yoda. He's like learning about his abilities as a green seer, as a warg, and then eventually as the three-eyed raven. He's learning all these things, and then when we see him, he really hasn't learned shit from where we last left him. So that was a big letdown. It's literally like he's in the cave, his fucking hair's been cut, he's extremely tall, like he's growing, like yeah, he's physically changed, but his power level, no, not so much. He's been down in this cave with this guy for a year, and he still can't stay under for longer than 10 seconds. He's still, I mean, just an idea, it's not like an actual 10 seconds, I'm just saying, he still can't stay under the weirwood net for a long period. He still hasn't learned enough to the point, and this is where he ends up leaving the cave, he still hasn't learned enough to the point where he should not go around fucking with the Night King. He hasn't learned hardly anything. Nothing. So it's like, I was led up to believe he was going to be this badass dude who just comes strolling in, and he's, I guess, rolling in. Not funny. But yeah. So that's what my impression was, is that he's just going to come in and he's going to set everything right. What he's actually done is that he's came in and that he's said a few awkward things. He's witnessed a few key events in the past that are crucial to the storyline, but for the most part, he ain't really done shit. So I think what they could be doing is they could be setting it up where Bran, since we don't really know, we don't see what he does every time he well, the hair looks fucking nuts right now. We don't see what he does every time he goes in the weirwood net. Hopefully they're developing on that more. So it's like maybe he couldn't reach his full potential until his full potential was unlocked, and that was when the three-eyed raven was killed and his essence went inside of Bran. So Bran Stark died, but then he became the three-eyed raven. So it's almost like maybe that's why he hadn't reached his full potential yet, was because it wasn't unlocked, you know. And if that's the case, I think for this next season, I would love to see him involved in something like he's secretly the Night King. Not necessarily that he is secret, but it's just a storyline like that. So it's like we see, okay, he's definitely beneficial to the storyline, or he's a big fuck up. Because like I think the main theory with him being the Night King, right, is that it's something like he tries to go back and warg into the Children of the Forest to tell them not to do what they're doing and tell them that they're basically going to bring on the Long Night, but then he somehow gets trapped in the Night King's body, and then they turn him into the Night King, and that's how he's supposed to be the Night King. I don't know. I think that's the basis for that storyline. I think for the most part, it involves some other shit that's very flaky, that doesn't hold up under intense scrupulation. Like you can have someone debate it and it fucking dissipates like that. Like the goddamn flat earth theory. Like, what the fuck? And you know who I'm talking about, Jason, if you're watching right now. I want to have him on my channel for this Flat Earth podcast. I'm going to get my buddy, since shit, we're starting to get more and more professional. Why not? I'm going to get a 3-person in-house recorded podcast. I'm going to pull a Joe Rogan. I got a few extra cameras. I'm going to set a camera up over here, and I'll maybe go and buy another cheap webcam and put up right here so you can see all three of us, and I'll alternate in between the things. But yes, there is no such thing as a flat motherfucking earth. By the way, we've got 100 people watching right now. That is what's up. Please slap a like on this video. The like goal for this video is going to be 27. Also, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have your alerts and notifications turned on. There is a new video that will be dropping tomorrow. Full on season 8 spoilers. I haven't decided if I want to drop episode 4 of the plot leak or if I want to do another confirmed leaks video. I think I'll do a confirmed leaks video, but where the fuck were we? Okay, Bran and the Night King. I think what I really most want to see from Bran next season is just his role defined early on. There's only 6 episodes left. We don't really know what role he plays in the end game other than letting people know certain information, and really his information doesn't come in the most timely of manners, because if it had, he should have saw that Jon Snow going out and capturing a white is the dumbest fucking thing, and it's going to cause Daenerys to lose a dragon. So maybe he did see that, and since he knows that there has to be a certain path that this timeline will take, maybe he guided Jon into going there and just knew this was going to happen, because he knew the Night King had to get a dragon, he knew the Night King had to bring down the wall, and this would rally all of the forces of mankind to defeat him once and for all. So maybe that's why Bran allowed that to happen, and I want to give him the credit into thinking that he did know that was going to happen, because the Night King knew it was. This is why he did not attack Jon. He waited until Jon's lover shows up. At that point, they hadn't fucked yet, but he wanted to wait until Daenerys shows up so he could take one of her dragons. He knew that he would need a dragon to bring down the wall, because dragons were used to make the wall. Oh, what, mind blown? Yeah, no. But yeah, I mean, I want to see something more from Jen than just, hey, I know what you did last summer, which is literally what he did the entirety of season 7. You know, that scene that he had with Littlefinger, and he's like, chaos is a ladder, and Littlefinger's like, oh shit, this dude's been seeing some shit. Can't. Bran was basically like, Scary Movie. I can't remember her fucking name. I can't remember her name in the movie. God damn, I can't. Either way, she's in the movie theater and she's fucking eating and she's bootlegging the shit out of the movie, and the guy's like, oh, please, will you shut up? And she turns around and goes, yeah, you're on candy camera now. That's basically what Bran did to Littlefinger, and that's fucking hilarious. It's gold. But I'd like to see more from him for that. I want to see him. I want to see him either do something funny, which would be as soon as Jon shows up with Daenerys, he'll be like, so you like to bang your aunt, huh? You know what I mean? Or something like that. Or basically doesn't basically say that, but he's having a conversation with Jon, and he goes, your lineage is not what you think it is. And then he'll say something like, you and Daenerys are closer than you may know. And then he'll be like, whoa, what? Like, I don't know. I want to see that. We have 54 likes, need a new goal. Okay, the like goal for this video, since we hit that 27 like goal video, the like goal for this video will be 75. You know what? We'll do 69. That's the year my dad was born in. My dad was born in 1969, so we'll do that. All right, so okay, I think I've pretty much gotten out what I want to say about Bran. There was a bit of Arya and Sansa talk mixed in with there. We've got about 15 minutes left. I'm going to start taking questions. Go ahead and send them in. Send in those Q's, and I'll have some A's. Paul Rose said, when Bran said chaos is a ladder, I got a semi-chub. That's hilarious, dude. A little bit weird, but still hilarious. All right, scanning back through to see... where the questions are, because I saw one that I was gonna grab. Ivan 215, I think that's you, buddy. I'm looking at your profile picture and it's tiny, but I think that's you. He said, what are you gonna do with your hair? Are you gonna braid it? I don't know, man. I don't know. I wanted to lock it up, but dreadlocks are so permanent. I'd have to shave my head after I did it. I think I'm just gonna continue growing it out until someone from the Game of Thrones cast or filming crew, production, maybe even for the spinoffs or something, until someone notices me and goes, hey, you look like you fit in right over here with these extras. Why don't you come stand in the background over here? We know you're a huge fan and you want to smell Daenerys' farts, so you need to go stand in the background over there. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have a set goal for it. I'm just growing it out as long as it goes. As long as it'll go. When you gonna visit Philly? Man, I haven't been to Philadelphia since my grandmother passed away. It's been really hard for me to go back there since then. Probably within the next year. I definitely want to go visit her grave, so probably sometime within the next year. Oh Lord, I was born in 1964. I'm old enough to be your mom. Yikes. My mom was born in 1965. My mom is 4 years older than my dad. Do you think Bran will tell Jaime Lannister sends his regards? Oh, that question wasn't directed towards me. Let's have the questions for House Stark. We didn't really get into the spoiler chat, but that's cool. We did. We mentioned them briefly early on. Well, then, how old are you? I am 28. I'll be 29 in January of next year. The first day of January of next year. I'm one of the few people who was born in the 90s that was alive for every single motherfucking day of the 90s. That's right. Why did Arya act normal when she met Hot Pie at the crossroads, and when she got to Winterfell, she acted like she just smoked a joint? What? I gotta rewatch those scenes. What do you? I mean, I know how she was with Hot Pie. She was hungry. She was fucking shoveling that food in her face. That shit was hilarious. I was like, damn, they must have really starved Maisie before they filmed that fucking scene. She was hungry as shit. She's like, literally like, oh yeah? John's at Winterfell? Crazy. She was eating like an anime character. It's fucking hilarious. BioExplorer, any book news? I can't keep up. Nope. Fire and Blood's coming out in November. George has not really mentioned anything about Winds of Winter. There is a bunch of stuff that he talked about at, I think it's called the Worldcon. Ashaya and Aziz from History of Westeros went to go see him in California, as well as a few other YouTubers. I think Lucifer Means Lightbringer, Azor Hype. They all went out there to go see him. They got to meet George R. R. Martin, and one of the things, I guess I'll go ahead and say it now. I think History of Westeros did a podcast, or actually I wanted to have them on my channel. Fucking A, what the fuck just cut my finger, dude? Oh my god. Yo, that plastic just cut the shit out of my hand. Fuck, that hurts. And it didn't actually, like, break the skin, so there's no blood. But yeah, I wanted to have them on my channel. So apparently Bloodraven did take Dark Sister to the wall. To the cave north of the wall. That's super exciting because that means there's a strong chance that Mira, that sword, right before she ran out of the cave, right before she did that at the end of season 6, that's a good possibility that was Dark Sister. It was literally sitting near the edge, and we know that over time metal oxidizes and doesn't look as shiny as it normally would. So I would love, and I can't remember, I need to go back and watch season 7, but I think she does have a sword on her hip when she's in there talking to Bran when she's about to leave. So I think that could be Dark Sister. My whole thing, main reason why I thought it was Dark Sister is because there's no official artwork to go along with it. There's a few artists that I think they used for, I always point over here because it's right there, for a World of Ice and Fire. For the artist renditions of it, I think there are a few like official ones, but for the most part, we're kind of just have it described to us. So if you zoom in on that sword that she grabs, and then there was also like a super clear image from Helen Sloan. She does the professional images for Game of Thrones. Usually, what the fuck? In that image, the handle kind of does like this weird spiral thing, and then like the description of Dark Sister kind of describes a curved handle, very slender handle. It's almost like it was meant for a female. But yeah, I would love to. I definitely don't think we saw the last of the Reeds. There's not that much time. You're right, but if they show up, Howland, and maybe he doesn't even go. Maybe it's just Mira Reed leading all the troops. Maybe she goes back to find out that her father's been killed, and because she's been gone so long. I don't know. They made it sound like he's alive though, because she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go back home. And I know the actress said that she's no longer a part of the show, but never trust an actor. I don't understand that. And there's people who are on YouTube that will make a video and be like, well, the actor said this. Don't trust the actor. They are paid to be fucking liars. I don't know if you guys remember this, but prior to season 6, Kit Harington went on 17 different nationally syndicated television programs and like fucking podcasts and like radio shows. He literally was saying the entire, hey, I'm not coming back. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. It's been awesome. And then you know what? He's back the second fucking episode. He springs to life. That was a pretty good impression of Jon Snow coming back to life. What do you guys think? Hang on, let me do it like this. Oh man, I gotta tilt this down so you guys can see me. All right, here we go. Oh man, I just got lightheaded as shit, dude. What the fuck? But yeah, nah. I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about. It's lightheaded. Jesus. Yes, the actors, they are paid liars. Do not trust what they have to say. You can't go basing whether they're going to be back on the show, when the show started, what kind of spoilers they get. You cannot base none of that on what they say. They are fucking liars. I love famous people. Obviously, everyone does. They're famous. They're like our modern day kings and queens, I guess. But don't trust them. They're fucking paid liars. And just because the actress who plays, and I can't remember her name right now, which is why I'm trying to sound professional and say the actress who plays Mira, said that she wasn't going to be back, but that doesn't mean anything. I would like to see them back. We'll do some more questions. He was naked. All right, I'll take my shirt off, man. All right, let's do it again. You guys want to get all professional? Here we go. Was that it? Let me put my clothes back on. You guys like how easily I shred my clothing? You should have met me when I was a fucking teenager, cause you should have met me when I was a teenager. You're like, yeah, no, but no, when I was a teenager, I used to. That was my thing. I would literally just get naked. Like, there's actually this video of me running. I'm on my skateboard with a towel tied around my neck, butt ass naked, riding through my friend's neighborhood. No reason, just felt like doing it. I think I might have a little bit of European in me, since the Europeans like to have all them nude beaches. Speaking of which, oh my god, I can't imagine if we had something like that over here. I think we do. I think Cocoa Beach down in Florida used to be partially nude or something like that. I don't know. That'd be really cool. I'm all for that. Oh, who said that? Donnie Locklear said, Mark, someone said that Longclaw is the missing sword Blackfire. Who said that? I like that. I don't think that it's true, but I like that. Longclaw is from House Mormont. That's their ancestral house blade. I think they've had it for like 500 years or something. Not 500 years, but they've had it for a while. I don't think they're... Aside from the cat's paw dagger... I don't think there's any other weapon, and potentially Black's Dark Sister. We don't know if that's actually Dark Sister, so it's not masquerading as another blade. But I think that there's a good chance that Dark Sister may actually be the cat's paw, and that Bloodraven was the one who, Three-Eyed Crow, for all those people get their panties in a bunch, saying Bloodraven's not the same. He's, according to the Dan and Dave, Three-Eyed Crow's been under the tree for 1,000 years, and Bloodraven's only been under there for 50. Whatever. What the fuck ever. They're clearly meant to be the same motherfucking people. It's just a different version of them. Just like, that's like saying the Night's King isn't the Night King. The timeline doesn't add up, but it's a TV show. People who choose to watch a TV show are not the hardest to entertain. Let's just keep it short and simple. There's already 50 some odd characters whose names we have to remember. So let's just make it simple. This is the Night King. He's been under there for a while. This is this fucking old guy in a tree. It's his arch enemy. But yeah, so... aside from the cat's paw dagger maybe being Dark Sister, or maybe being a Targaryen blade that is the only way that can kill the Night King, I don't think there are any other blades that are masquerading as something else. So Longclaw technically isn't Longclaw. It's Jon Snow's bastard sword, which I think if he was smart, he would name it Ghost. Maybe? I don't know. But yeah, I don't think that, as far as that, I don't think there are any other weapons masquerading as other weapons. It would be significant, and I think it would be a cool payoff, but I think it would just be a little bit of a waste of time to explain that storyline. That Longclaw's been this weapon this whole time, and this is why. Then it brings up the questions of why did the House Mormont have it for so long? If it was Dark Sister, I guess you could say that Bloodraven gave it to them on his way north, but no, because George confirmed that he took it to the cave. So I don't think that it's something. I guess you could argue that there was at some point, maybe when GR was venturing north of the wall, he found the sword, maybe because Bloodraven intentionally left it for him. I don't know, but it raises more questions than it's solving more answers. So I don't know. Nancy says, "Thank you, Mark. Super fun stream." No, thank you, my lady. Thank you. Let me raise this up one more time. Yeah. Look at that. Stop. Oh wait, it's still leaned back. I was like, what the hell? Where's the back of my chair? There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna take a nap. I'll see you guys later. Psych. Just kidding. I'm back. Ravens are better than crows. And there ain't nothing wrong with crows. Maybe it's because Game of Thrones, but not really, because I've been obsessed with the movie The Crow since I saw it in the 90s. But I've always wanted to befriend crows and ravens. So whenever I see them outside, or there's actually this one flock that one of them is right there right now. I usually throw out bread to them, so I feed them whenever I have something. It's funny, they're fucking smart. One time I didn't think about it, right? So I had like these rice cakes. I'm like, man, these are fucking nasty. Let me give these to my Ravens friends. My Raven friends. I tossed them outside. They don't even touch that shit. You know why? Rice expands in their stomach. Those birds are so fucking smart that they pass along knowledge to each other of when someone else had consumed the rice and they got sick. They pass it along and told them. So there's actually proof that ravens can learn from their parents. So basically what they did was these scientists walked around this park in England and they were wearing these masks, and they would only wear the mask when they would capture the birds. They wouldn't hurt them or anything. They would just capture them to tag them and track their movements. So when they did this, a few years passed, the birds grew up and they had young. The youngs knew to stay away from those scientists wearing the masks because they were taught from their parents that if they go near those people with the mask, they're going to be picked up and taken away. So they're fucking smart. George knew what the fuck he was doing when he chose to put an animal like that in his books. But yeah, if you don't believe me, look that shit up. It's crazy. Q&A. Why don't the Starks burn their dead? Seems stupid of them not to. Maybe not traditionally. Maybe they buried them underneath the crypts because the Starks come from old god magic and they knew that one day they would eventually rise again. A little bit of a clickbait gotcha there. But Jon is definitely burning the dead. He knows that they're going to be brought back. I would not be surprised if he mentions that maybe they should go through and burn the remains of their ancestors that are down there. Obviously, he's not going to say that, and that's never going to happen. But if he was smart, they would. But at this point, we are 1 hour and 1 minute into this live stream. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you could please slap a like on this. The like goal for this, and we're about to up it here, it's going to be 421. Also, leave me a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on some of my House Stark predictions and some of the brief spoilers that I mentioned. If you are feeling so inclined, please check out my GoFundMe that I have linked down below in the description. It's a good way to help support my channel, and also I have an Amazon wishlist link down there. And if you want to become a member of my Patreon member, super special shout out to CC Stark and to James Caldwell for becoming the newest patron members, and shout out to every single member of my patrons. But I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please slap a like on this video, make sure you subscribe, make sure you have all your notifications turned on so that way you get alerted every single time I drop a Game of Thrones video throughout this long night. I want to thank you all so much for watching. My name's Mark, and that chair leaning backwards just scared the shit out of me. This has been Sir Hunt's Reviews. Stop streaming.